Reddit fresh. Am I the idiot for telling my coworker that the hand-me-downs she collected for my toddler were disgusting? I'll try not to make this terribly long. My coworker contacted me to let me know that she had some hand-me-down clothes that my toddler was welcome to. She said they were in play condition, well-loved and some stains, but all were freshly laundered. Now, I don't mind stains or worn clothes for my toddler at this point. She will either make it that way herself or burn through brand new clothes too fast, so we love pre-loved for this stage. I picked up the box, and there were some really cute clothes that we are definitely going to use. Folded in, however, was a pair of black pants. I held them up to take a look, as I did with each piece to make sure it's something I'd use, and noticed that it was wet. I took a sniff and immediately smelled diarrhea poop. Gagging, I turned it around, and sure enough, there was a rancid poop stain on the pants. This really pisses me off because, well, I feel like that's totally unacceptable. I would never in a million years think of sending that to someone's house, and I would make sure what I'm folding truly is clean. Anyways, when I saw her next, I said that I found a pair of pants with actual wet, seemingly fresh poo stains folded neatly into the pile. I told her this was disgusting, and to please check clothing properly before handing them to someone. It's completely unhygienic, and while I appreciate the clothing, it's really not okay. She apologized to me profusely, but then I heard through a different colleague that she was telling people I was an ungrateful idiot because I complained about the clothes being too old when I should have expected it as they were hand-me-downs, and of course mentioned nothing about the shitted pants. I said that her side of the story wasn't true, and what had actually happened. Anyways, I'm pissed off, but I do understand it's embarrassing that it happened for her. I don't see how someone does this without knowing. Am I an idiot for telling her it's not okay despite her being kind enough to pass down clothes? Not the idiot. You weren't mad about the clothes being worn out, you were mad because they were covered in poop. I would think it would be common sense to make sure the clothes were clean before gifting them to you, but apparently not. Everyone sucks here. Yes, it's disgusting, but if it's one pair of pants, I would guess it's a mistake and someone put them there by mistake. My kid moves clothes around all the time. OP sucks because you don't have to be all high and mighty and tell your coworker how it's disgusting and blah blah blah, she knows. It's poop. And again, if it was just one item, it was obviously a mistake. The coworker sucks for spreading rumors that you didn't appreciate the clothes. This situation could have been resolved with, "Hey, I think something went wrong, one of the pants had fresh poop on them." "Oh, I'm sorry," and then the end of the situation. Now, for the next story. Am I the idiot for telling my sister she'll always be Indian no matter how much she tries to whitewash herself? I'm male 17, and my sister is female 15. Our parents were immigrants from India before having us, so we've grown up in the US our whole lives. Regardless, I'd say we've stayed decently attached to the culture. We visit India every other summer, we speak our language, and so on. But recently, I've been noticing that my sister has been attempting to distance herself from being Indian, because in her words, it's uncool, and Indians are negatively stereotyped. She's convinced that people don't think she's Indian because we have lightish skin, when she obviously looks Indian, and so do I. When asked about her ethnicity, she always says something along the lines of, "I'm Indian, but most people think I'm Latina, mixed, or Greek-Italian." Nobody thinks that. Has started referring to herself by a white-sounding diminutive of her name. Talks about only wanting to date white guys because Indian guys are unattractive, and obsessively trying to lighten her skin even further. I don't think this is a good mindset. It would be one thing if she was never that attached to the Indian part of her identity, and so doesn't identify as so. It's another that she has and is deliberately pushing it away because she feels it's uncool. That sort of mindset that being Indian is bad only leads to self-hatred, because no matter how much she changes herself externally, she'll know deep down that she's Indian and hate herself for it. And not only is it wrong, it's obvious what she's trying to do, and I know many people find it cringe, so she's hurting herself both mentally and socially. So today I took her aside and told her that no matter how much she tries to whitewash herself, she'll still be Indian, and everybody but her sees her that way. She called me TA for it, but I'm just trying to look out for her. I hope she comes around eventually. Not the idiot. And I see a lot of people here having some very, very closeted, racist, xenophobic opinions, like saying someone from India is now a typical average American girl. Not the idiot. I'm a third-generation American. It is common to feel this way. Assimilation is desirable in immigrant families. As a family, it's important to stress being proud of who you are, where you came from, etc. Take a positive spin on this with your sister. What she's going through is normal. Now, for the next story. Am I the idiot for ruining a proposal? My girlfriend just bought a house and is so excited. She invited a ton of people over for a housewarming. She put so much work into everything. The house looked amazing and the food was delicious. Right after dinner, while my girlfriend was getting dessert, her brother proposed to his girlfriend. I was mad because he hijacked my girlfriend's event that she worked so hard for. Before she could answer, I told him to sit down and quit being so rude and disrespectful to his sister. He was mad, but his girlfriend looked so embarrassed. They ended up leaving. The party was very awkward after that. A lot of people left early. My girlfriend's mom was furious at me because she wanted her son to stop living in sin and I ruined it. My girlfriend said I was sweet but didn't need to do that. Her brother texted me calling me a prick. Was I an idiot for telling them to have some class? Not the idiot. It is just plain rude to start hijacking events for your proposal. Oh, my sister bought a new house? Perfect situation to make sure it revolves all around my proposal. Your brother-in-law sounds like a cheapskate who thought he could get away with it. Is he normally so entitled? Not the idiot, based on your comments alone. Your GF says she's used to her family hijacking her events so clearly this is not a one-time thing. It seems her family uses every happy moment of hers to have the spotlight shining on themselves. I think all the YTA comments are weird. Now for the next story. Am I the idiot? Neighbor's dog got my dog pregnant without my consent. Now he wants one of the puppies? One day while I was away, my grandfather let my dog out in the backyard for a few minutes. He didn't notice that my neighbor's dog was also there. Somehow, he managed to get close to my dog and mate with her without anyone noticing. This wouldn't usually happen as my dog would usually bark away other dogs, and coincidentally, according to my father, he saw my neighbors outside just deliberately waiting for his dog to get a lock on my dog and did not stop his dog. A few weeks ago, she gave birth to 5 beautiful puppies. They are all healthy and adorable. They look like a mix of both parents. However, as soon as my neighbor found out about the puppies, he came over and demanded that I give him one of them. He said that since his dog was the father, he had the right to claim one of them as his own. I refused to give him any of the puppies because A. He never asked me for permission or consent before letting his dog mate with mine. B. He never took any responsibility or care for his dog or mine during or after the pregnancy. C. He doesn't have a proper environment or lifestyle for raising a puppy. D. He feeds his dog human food, which is bad for their health. I don't know what to do now. I don't want to give up any of the puppies because A. They are part of my family now and I love them all equally. B. They are bonded with their mother and siblings and separating them would be traumatic for them. C. They are still too young to be weaned or separated from their mother. They are only 4 weeks old. D. He leaves his dog outside all day without shelter or attention. Am I the idiot for wanting to keep them? Edit. I want to thank everyone for taking the time to comment and educate me for the effects of keeping them together. I might also have been probably the "you're the idiot" for my own selfishness of keeping them for their own good. But learning upon the effects of keeping them together, and as others pointed out, me being 15 and not being able to afford to neuter, spay them, I will be having them entrusted some asterisk trusted relatives of mine, believing they will have a good home once Mama Dog shows signs of not wanting to have anything with them anymore. Everyone sucks here. You for blaming his dog when you both decided not to spay or neuter your dogs. Coincidentally, your dad saw this happen and also didn't stop it from happening, and your grandpa was the one who let this out. It's also ridiculous to think you're going to manage 6 dogs when you haven't managed 1. He too sucks and shouldn't have the puppies either, not the idiot. He seems to think he has rights such as pick of the litter for stud dog contracts, but he obviously does not since there was no contract, planning, or even permission. If he cannot supervise, train, and care for the 1 dog, he has no right getting a second one. But you keeping 6 dogs when the first was not spayed seems like a very bad idea. Obviously, I'm speaking of keeping them after they are weaned. Find them good homes with caring people who will cherish them and give them everything they need. Now, for the next story. Am I the idiot for calling my step-cousin a jealous bitch because she said I get everything because of nepotism privilege? Me and my step-cousin, I'll name her Leah for this post, are in the same field. We work at a company which is co-owned by my boyfriend's dad. To put it simply, Leah's jealous. She thinks I don't deserve to be there and get everything handed to me. I'm a hard worker and got a promotion recently, which set her off even more. Both of us had actually been applying to some other jobs as well. She got one of them, so she's going to move out of state soon. I also got an offer, but decided to stay here because of the promotion. We had a family potluck over the weekend, and of course a lot of them had heard of my promotion and were congratulating me. Leah was there, and she seemed fine throughout the night, but at one point my aunt, her stepmom, said something about how proud everyone is of me for being so successful in a traditionally man's field. I just said thanks and told her I'd gotten an offer from another place too, but decided to stay, and I'm happy I have options on what I want to do. Leah overheard this and came at me saying, it's not about my options but my nepotism privilege, and how she got a new job too, but everyone's kissing up to my ass. I had enough at that point, and told her to stop acting like a jealous witch, and focus on herself instead of looking at what others have that she doesn't. She got upset and pretty much stormed off. I texted her later, but she didn't reply. I told my friend this. She knows Leah too, and she said I should apologize to Leah, and what I said was way wrong. I don't really think so, but am I the idiot? My friend suggested that I post here. Everyone sucks here. She is definitely jealous, and you had every right to go off on her like that because of where she said poop. But don't play dumb. You definitely have nepotism privilege. It's a hard fact of life that a lot of people, especially those that have it, refuse to believe. That's why networking is a thing. You're the idiot. You lack self-awareness. You can call yourself a hard worker. It sounds nice, but you can't deny the situation is advantageous to you in a nepotism way. Calling someone a witch for stating the obvious is definitely an idiotic move. Now for the next story. Am I the idiot for telling my dad's wife a joke that made her uncomfortable? My dad divorced my mom when my brother was 4, I was 3, and my sister was 1. He divorced my stepmother when my half-brother was 3 and my half-sister was 2. My dad is currently married to his third wife, and they have one son who is 6. My grandmother really likes my dad's current wife, but she has a weird sense of humor. Most people in our family do. Sunday, my grandmother said to my dad's wife that she liked her so much that when they get divorced, she will keep her and get rid of my dad. My dad's wife looked a little thrown by the comment and said she and my dad aren't getting divorced. I joked, "Of course not, you don't have a daughter." She stared at me and asked what I meant. I explained that my dad only divorces women when they have a daughter. That isn't the reason my parents divorced. It was just a joke about a coincidence. But she said it was a horrible thing to say about my sisters. My grandmother then joked that it was the opposite, because it implied my dad wanted daughters and only stayed with a woman long enough to get one. So as long as she doesn't have another kid or only has sons, he'll stick around waiting for a girl. We both started laughing, and my dad's wife stared at us silently and then got up and left the room. At this point, I started to wonder if I crossed a line. My grandmother said I was fine, that she was just a sensitive person, and a little ribbing is good for her. Still, I do feel bad and wonder if I should apologize. Am I an idiot? Not the idiot. You were just pointing out a coincidence and cracked a little joke, no harm intended, especially at your father's wife because she doesn't have daughters. You followed your granny's joke and she even landed another one. Apologize to your father's wife. She took the wrong way, but you are not an AH because of that. You're the idiot, and so is your grandma. It is painfully obvious that this joke, maybe funny on a TV show, is not funny to your stepmother. You are telling her that her marriage is doomed, and if she has a daughter that will be the end, and then laughing about it. It's not a joke to her, it is her life. Just apologize. Now, for the next story. Am I the idiot for making an insurance claim against someone just trying to help me? I take my dogs for a run every afternoon to some fields about a 10-minute drive from my home. I load them up in the canopy in the back of my ute and pop the one window of the canopy into the open position so my dogs can look at things and get some fresh air. The gas struts of the window have failed, meaning the window no longer supports itself while open and drops down. So I wrap a strap around the inner strut to act as support, so the window doesn't drop down and close while going over bumps. I did the same thing that afternoon, but after getting home and dropping the dogs off, I needed to pop into the shops. Problem was, I forgot that I had left the canopy window open while driving to the shops. On my way there, some bloke got out of his car at a set of traffic lights and ran over to my truck and attempted to close the canopy window down for me. But because I braced it so well, he had to put extra force into trying to close it. I watched this all unfold in the mirror. It happened extremely fast, so I had no opportunity to tell him to stop. He put so much force into trying to close it for me that he completely shattered the window. The light went green, so we pulled over on the other side of the intersection. I got his details from him. He's 20 years old, driving an old four-wheel drive. Really nice kid. But am I the idiot for making an insurance claim to have the canopy replaced? It was an older canopy, so they could not make repairs. I do feel bad that he was only trying to help out, but in the same breath I was left with a problem I never created. Should I have copped it on the chin? I left the window open mistakenly. He was just trying to be a good Samaritan and was extremely apologetic about it. He actually went back and cleaned the glass off the road with a broom. He also cut his feet on the glass. Edit. Some people saying I'm taking advantage of the situation, which is not true. I asked insurance to repair the old canopy. The manufacturer came back and said it can't be replaced because the model was no longer supported and had been superseded. So the whole canopy must be replaced under the insurance claim. You're the idiot. The vehicle is not in good repair. It was already broken. Held together with straps, and a prayer is not broken. Kid was too eager and should have asked, but it's also unsafe to drive around with this canopy open. Not the idiot. If he was just trying to help, it seems like he would have told you, "Hey, this window is open," instead of trying to do something to your car without your permission. This is a great opportunity for this kid to learn about boundaries.